Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to be going through the top 10 Amazon FBA tips for beginners. If you haven't launched a product on Amazon yet, or you're thinking about exploring the Amazon FBA opportunity, you're going to want to stick around to the end of this video. If you don't know, my name's Lamar, and I've been selling on Amazon for the past 3.5 years. I'm a 7-figure Amazon FBA seller. I have over 50 different product SKUs listed on Amazon. Not all of my products have been successful, but I've learned a lot along this journey. Both from product failures and successes. I am now here trying to help you guys start an Amazon FBA business. I wanted to quickly mention that if you're getting value out of this video, please hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, definitely hit that subscribe button. All right, so now let's dive into the nitty gritty here and start talking about the top 10 Amazon FBA tips for a beginner. These are tips that I essentially wish I would have known 3.5 years ago when I started on Amazon FBA. And the reality is that the opportunity has completely changed. It's evolved over the past couple of years. And now more than ever, many of these things are so important to understand right from the get-go. So without further ado, let's jump in here to the top 10 Amazon FBA tips for beginners. Tip number 1 is build a real business. You need to think about this opportunity about Amazon FBA as if you're building a real business. This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. Before several years ago, there used to be opportunity, or there was opportunity where you could make quick money. However, the landscape has changed quite a bit over the past several years, and now it is more competitive. It doesn't mean that there is no opportunity anymore. It just means that you have to approach this with a real business mindset. You have to approach this as a real business opportunity. You have to approach this as if you're going to build a sustainable long-term business. This isn't just some get-rich-quick scheme that you can quickly flip a product, make a bunch of money, and then jump out. Now, while this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, it is a great opportunity for you to diversify your income or build out another income stream for yourself. And on top of that, worst case scenario is you develop a highly valuable skill that's very marketable in today's society. As e-commerce continues to just explode, people are looking for skills with Amazon FBA. And right now is the time for you to be developing those skills. So at the very minimum, you will have a marketable skill, a highly marketable skill for you to add to your resume or add to your career. So regardless of what happens to you or your personal product, you will still have a very valuable skill that you'll be able to learn from, build upon, add to your own skill sets, and become more marketable as you continue on with your career. The other important thing to note here is that there are many different business models that are successful utilizing Amazon FBA. Now, one that's highly talked about is private labeling or similar models to private labeling where you're making slight modifications to an off-the-shelf product and then listing that product on Amazon and selling it. However, that's not the only model that is very successful on Amazon. Another model is that you could take someone else's product and list it on Amazon for them. In that sense, you're essentially leveraging your skills of knowing how to sell on Amazon FBA, and you're taking someone else's product and just helping them sell it. I also have a bunch of friends that are being quite successful with retail arbitrage, essentially buying product in bulk locally at retail or discount stores and then listing that product on Amazon. So there's many different models out there of utilizing the Amazon FBA system or platform, and you can still become successful, right? So the point here is that there's many different models. You need to be flexible with this and understand that the skill sets are extremely valuable, and you being able to identify that and apply them to the business that you decide to build is just going to help you diversify your income. Tip number 2 here is that you have to launch a unique product. The days of launching a Me Too product are over, right? That was super easy. People made a bunch of money by just doing that. However, the landscape is different. As I just mentioned, we need to be thinking about this as building a real business. And with that comes with a unique or differentiated product. So the product that you're listing or planning on selling on Amazon does need to be unique to the marketplace. And that just makes sense. You can't have a Me Too product anymore. You need to put the work into product development. You need to put the work into understanding your customer. You need to put the work in to understand your positioning. Now, this does mean that it is a little bit harder than it was, 3-5 years ago to launch and be successful on Amazon. However, it's still the same basic fundamentals of selling anything, creating anything, right? We want to have a differentiated product. We want to have something that's unique to the marketplace so that we can stand out. And then we were trying to sell that online utilizing Amazon FBA. So in a sense, it has become a little bit harder. However, at the same time, it's just more realistic, right? The expectations for Amazon FBA have just become more realistic for people. And you do need to put in a little bit more work on understanding your customer, on the product development, on product research. So the opportunity is still massive. It's just that you need to put in a little bit more work on creating a unique product so that you can stand out from the marketplace and create a sustainable business. Number 3 on the list here is go into small niches. Trying to launch a product into a massive category. Let's take like iPhone cases, for example, right? This is such a massive, crowded category. If you don't know really what you're doing on Amazon, or you don't have a super unique or patented product that has a little bit of already pre-existing customer base or established, you're gonna have trouble breaking into these categories just because there's so much attention, there's so much competition in these markets. So trying to break into them as a beginner for the first time is gonna be expensive and challenging. I'd encourage you to look at smaller niche markets. There are so many hobbies and interests out there that are smaller in scale, right? They're not super popular. However, they still have a cult-like following with a ton of customers looking for unique or differentiated products. And let me tell you, that's where I'm most successful within my products. So when we examine hyper niche product categories, cater specifically to that target customer, that target demographic, and fulfill their needs. Like really give them a above and beyond solution for whatever they're looking for within that niche market. For example, I used to row in high school. And while the sports category is super general, rowing as a subset, or rowing for college athletes, or rowing for young professionals, is a subset within the sports category, and then within rowing yet again. And if you're able to identify or target that specific target market, you're much more likely to be able to break into that market successfully, right? Because there's less competition, there's less eyeballs. You're gonna have a better way of standing out from the rest of the other products that are already offered within that marketplace, instead of going after large, big general categories like iPhone cases. On top of that point, it's oftentimes better to go after boring categories. And here again, I'm just building off of the point that I just made, but boring products or boring categories are often overlooked, right? They don't have a lot of attention. There's not a lot of competition. There's not a lot of product innovation often going into boring, I'll put that in quotes, boring product categories. So if you're able to identify a boring product category and then come in there with an innovative or creative solution for that product, here again, you're just gonna be able to stand out from the crowd. And oftentimes, that customer base, whatever it is within that so-called boring category, they know that they've been traditionally buying boring products. So when you come in there with a brand new creative or innovative solution, you're going to be able to blow away the competition. You're going to be able to stand out from the competition, and the customers are going to notice that. Point number 4 on the list here is that niches on Amazon are defined by keywords. Now here I'm going to give you an example. But when you're essentially doing your market research, which is an extremely crucial part for your success on Amazon, You want to make sure that you're drilling down into those sub niches and that those sub niches are defined by a specific keyword. For example, let's say that the keyword is kitchen accessories. Kitchen accessories is a pretty broad keyword. It defines a lot of different products if you were to search kitchen accessories within Amazon. However, kitchen containers takes that market down a little bit, and now we might be only looking at things that hold cereal or bread or oats or sugar. So we are reducing the types of products that we're looking at. And then if we take it one step further, let's say that we're looking at like bread box. Bread box now starts to define a market. And within, or if we were to search bread box on Amazon, we're now looking solely at bread boxes within that niche category. However, I would challenge you to even go a step further and see what the market looks like. So is there a hyper sub niche beyond that niche? And in the case of bread box, we can take it one step further and look at stainless steel bread boxes. And when we do that, we end up defining a subcategory or a sub niche that then allows us to evaluate product categories as they are. And this becomes super useful when we're looking at things like sales and competition and depth of market. And these are important criteria that we use when evaluating a market potential on Amazon. Now, if this seems a little complicated or overwhelming to you, I wanted to quickly mention that I just came out with an Amazon FBA course where I literally go through step-by-step process of how you can go from idea to manufacturing to shipping to launching that product and scaling and building a successful business utilizing Amazon FBA. And if you're interested in that video course, it's over 15 hours of content. Definitely check out the link below in the description. Number 5 on the list here is build a portfolio of products. And what I mean here is that there's essentially 2 different types of products that you can launch on Amazon. The first one I'm gonna call is a base hit. This is where a product makes anywhere from $5, $10, maybe $15,000 for you in monthly revenue. And then you have home run products. Home run products could generate you $50,000, $100,000 in monthly revenue. They are like grand slam products, essentially. And what I mean here is that especially when you're first starting out on Amazon, you want to be thinking about products or launching products on Amazon as base hits. You want to be stepping up to bat. You want to be making contact with that bat or with that product, and you want to be shooting for $5,000 to $10,000 in monthly revenue, especially when you're just starting out. And the idea here is that you're building a portfolio of products. If you continue to replicate that process, you get better and better at it. Meanwhile, you're adding $5,000 to $10,000 a month in monthly revenue as you go along here, and you end up with a wide, diverse portfolio of products. That's the strategy I've been executing to date, and it's becoming highly effective, right? I have a very diverse portfolio of products. I can cut one product if it stops performing well. I'm constantly adding new products that all do within this range, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in monthly revenue, and I continue to build and build all across that. Now, I talk quite a bit about base hits and home runs also within my course, so if you want further details about that, again, check out the link below. Point number 6 here is that things are changing fast. Tactics continue to change. Right, what you could do 2-3 years ago is completely different from what's acceptable on Amazon today. For example, you used to be able to use super URLs. This was essentially a way of manipulating Amazon's search algorithm into having them believe that customers were searching a specific keyword and then going on to purchase your product, which would then help you boost your keyword rank for that specific product. You can no longer do that. You used to be able to ask family and friends for reviews. You can no longer do that. You used to be able to use wish lists or hire agencies that would like thumbs up your product or add your product to a bunch of wish lists, and then that would give you some extra juice in Amazon's algorithm. Amazon caught on to that, and you can no longer do that. You used to be able to do giveaways. Giveaways was, supposed to be always an effective way of launching and ranking your product on Amazon. It continues to become less and less effective as time goes on, not to mention it's extremely expensive for you to continuously do giveaways for your product. The strategy is essentially dying and new ones or more sustainable strategies are being developed. So not only tactics continue to evolve or change over time here, but Amazon as a platform, as a marketplace also continues to change and evolve. They continue to launch new and improved features. Just at the beginning of this year, they rolled out a bunch of new features to their PPC campaigns, right? The way that you organize PPC campaigns, the way that you bid on your PPC campaigns. So they're constantly evolving as a platform, as a marketplace, and adding new things, making it easier for sellers, protecting sellers, right? One thing that's been a big struggle for third-party sellers is protecting their brand, protecting their product from hijackers, or protecting, unauthorized sellers from selling their product on Amazon. Amazon continues to crack down on this and give us, the sellers, more ability, more control over our listings and over protecting our brand, which is really great, right? It's a great opportunity if you're doing things essentially in a white hat way and you're here for the long haul and you're building a diversified portfolio of products, a real sustainable business. Number 7 is don't get overwhelmed. Now there's lots of new tactics that are being discussed or evolved, just like I mentioned. However, it's important to stick to the basics and don't get overwhelmed with all of this information. There's a term that's thrown around out there that's called just-in-time learning. And this is something that I've implemented within my own business, and I encourage you to do the same thing. And it's only focus on what matters right now, learn that task, learn how to do that, and then go out there and execute on it until it's complete, and then learn the next task, and then execute on that. You don't want to surround yourself with all this information. Oh, I need to source a product. Oh, I need to figure out shipping. Oh, how am I going to launch on Amazon? Take one step at a time, learn how to do that, and then execute on it, and then go on to the next process or step. The great thing about Amazon and Amazon FBA is that this isn't really a complicated business model. There's a couple of main things. You need to do your product research. You need to source that product, you need to ship that product, and then you need to get that product selling on Amazon, and then you need to repeat that whole process. The whole process is pretty straightforward and easy to follow. You just need to go out there and execute on each of those steps, and then repeat after you nail it down and you build out your systems. Number 8 is keep your day job. It's fully possible to launch and start this business as a side hustle. And in fact, I'd encourage you to do that when you're first starting out. There is going to be a learning curve, and you need to continuously take steps or take action towards launching a product. However, you want to do that on the side. Dedicate as many hours as you can to taking action, to pushing this project forward and launching a product on Amazon. It doesn't require 100% or full-time effort from you right from the beginning. You can completely do this on the side. You can test the waters. It takes a couple of $1,000s to go through this process and get a product up and running on Amazon. And here again, the worst case scenario is that you walk away from this whole opportunity with a massively valuable skill set that's highly marketable, that is completely translatable into other areas, or helps you develop or build relationships or build upon new opportunities that you find elsewhere. Number 9 is don't give up. My first 3 products on Amazon completely failed. And the reality is you might also have a couple of failed products along the way. I still launch failed products. And that's just part of the process. There are too many variables. There are variables that are out of our control. Here we can go through all the correct steps, all the correct processes. We can try to think about every little angle, everything. But the reality is that we don't know until we're up and running, until we're up and selling within that market, how the market or how the customer is going to react to our product. And there's just too many things for us to be 100% sure in the success of our product. And that's just the name of the game. That's just the name of this business. However, the important thing here is that we cannot give up. The number one reason you fail at this opportunity is because you stop. You stop putting in the effort or you give up. And that is crucial. The only way that you do not succeed at Amazon FBA is if you give up. And the last tip that I have for you, or if you're interested in starting an Amazon FBA business, and this is probably the most important tip of them all, is that you have to start now. There's a quote out there that goes something along the lines of, yesterday was the best time to start, and the second best time to start is right now. And that is literally what's preventing you from taking grasp of this opportunity and taking it to the next step. You have to start taking action right now. That's literally the only difference between you and I, is that I decided to take consistent action day after day, day after night for the past 3.5 years. I just continue to take action on my business. I continue to push it forward and I continue to make progress. That is the secret. That is exactly what you have to do to diversify your income, to take this opportunity and make it for yourself. You have to take action right now. So if you guys got value out of this video, definitely please hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And like I said, if you're interested in my course where I literally go through step by step everything Amazon FBA, I really break down how to do market research, how to source your product, how to go through the manufacturing process, how to do quality control, shipping, and finally, how to get that product up and running or launching on Amazon and selling so you can start making money, so you can start to diversify your income and build out that portfolio of products just like I said. So without further ado, guys, I'll see you on the next video and have a great weekend.